Hello family, hello friends, and hello strangers that are about to be friends. My name's Anna Maria, and today we are at the Mini G Garden. This is my prized possession this year, the Mission Fig Tree. But let's get into it. So as a beginner gardener, or even as a intermediate gardener, or gardeners that just been doing this their whole life. For example, me, I just started gardening a few years ago on my own, but I was always in the garden with my pops, and I always enjoyed, the difference of taste between a tomato that got ripe on the vine and a tomato that you buy at your grocery store. So that intrigued me to doing so for my family like he did for us. And when I first started gardening on my own, I always got really intimidated because I've seen all these different fertilizers and pesticides, herbicides, and I said, you know what? I want to do it like my family has done it in Italy, and brought those tips and tricks over to the United States with those organic materials that they use, and kind of give it my own twist. So, for example, I use worm castings, bone meal, bat guano, azomite, things of that sort. But when you're first starting, all those different organic matters, and even if you go into your garden store, it gets really overwhelming really quick. And for some people, they could say, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to take the easy way out, get some Miracle Grow, and that's the worst thing that you could do. So I'm here to tell you that there is an easy way, and this is the easiest way for me to do it. It comes down to two things: liquid fertilizer and granular fertilizer. Now, everything I use is organic. Still, in the organic category, it could still get completely overwhelming. So I want to bring to you guys what I use on I don't want to say daily basis, because you don't fertilize on a daily basis, but every 2 weeks you want to add some organic matter to your garden. So when I started my vegetable garden, as you can see, it's blooming, all nice, all pretty, can't complain. But when I started it, I put some cow manure, some worm castings, and I was like, okay, now what? So I decided to make it as simple as possible, and I want to show you guys the one thing that you could use for nitrogen. Now, this is a 511, and when it comes to organic fertilizers, it's awesome because you can't really burn your plants. When it comes to all those, I don't want to say pesticides and herbicides, but all those non-organic materials, a little scoop can burn your plants. So this is the easiest way for beginners. So this is Alaska fish fertilizer. It's a 511, and it won't burn anything. It's just for organic gardening, for some nitrogen in the first stage of your growing. So for your vegetative stage. Then you want to go to, once your tomato plants or eggplant plants or any type of plants start flowering, you want to move on to a fertilizer that's higher in not N, but P and K. So phosphorus. And this is what I use for liquid fertilizer when it comes to the bloom stage or the flower stage. It's called More Bloom by Alaska. It promotes vigorous root growth. You use it all on your flowering plants, and you won't be let down. That's a 0-10-10, so it's got no nitrogen, but it's got P and K. Now, you always want to have a granular fertilizer on hand, and Epsoma never lets me down. So this is something great. I know it says tomato tone. You'll go in the store, you'll see berry tone, garden tone, holly tone, and it will get really overwhelming. Just read the numbers, it's really all comes down to the numbers. This is a 3, 4, and 6, so it has some nitrogen, some phosphorus, and some potash. All right, so you have your liquid fertilizer, you have your granular fertilizer. Now what do? It gets really overwhelming when you want to stir it up, or you get, you have hose, but you don't have a gallon to pour, the liquid fertilizer in, and you get really overwhelmed. So I have a trick for you guys. As seen on TV, it's a car wash cannon. However, I have not put any granular, only liquid. I fill it up to the quote-unquote soap line with a little bit of fish fertilizer or bloom fertilizer, and it does the trick. I don't have to mix anything. It does everything for me, and it's awesome. So I don't know if you guys want to try this out. It's not made for gardening, but I made it into a gardening tool. It's a car wash cannon. I think I got it for 20 bucks at my local box store. It's as seen on TV, but I use it for gardening. You don't have to, you just dump what you want to use in it. I don't prefer, or I don't suggest using granular in here, but just a little bit of your fish fertilizer and your bloom fertilizer, and you're good to go. You just hook it up to your hose, and it does all the work for you. It's also cool because it's got the strengths of 0 to 4, 0 to 5, so that's awesome. Now, you have your liquid fertilizer, you have your granular fertilizer, your stuff's blooming, you're all set to go. You're like, wow, I'm having a successful year, but holy cow, it's getting so abundant and so overwhelming. Now what? So my thing when I started gardening is I love planting, but I hated harvesting. I don't know why. I just loved the whole gardening, getting out there, having a peace of mind. But when it came time for harvesting, I'm like, do I really have to? I just love seeing this stuff grow. You do. Or else if you don't get to it first, somebody else is gonna get to it first, meaning a pest. So always be on top of your harvesting. Now today, I wanna tell you, do not be afraid of pruning. When it comes to pruning, do not be afraid. Get yourself some friskers and prune away, because I noticed this year I was a little, I don't want to say hesitant, just kind of lazy on the pruning department. And guess what? Hornworms prune for me. So you want to get in there, you want to make it so there's air circulation, so you can see your pests, so you can see your fruit, and just stay on top of it as much as you can. I know we live busy lives and things get in the way, but don't forget about harvesting. I know it sounds silly, but trust me, once you get, into the gardening game, you're all about putting stuff into the dirt, getting it to grow, watching it grow, but a lot of people don't like to go out there and harvest. I know, again, it sounds silly, but I'm one of those people. And guess what? Hornworms pruned for me a little bit already, and this is my first year dealing with hornworms. I can't seem to find them, but they seem to find my tomato plants. It's okay. All these different pests, I try to think of them as friends, because they all have they all play a part in our little ecosystem that we plant, right? So always either bring out a little bag with you, or if you go on Amazon, there's harvesting baskets. Just do what you got to do to make yourself get out there and harvest. So liquid fertilizer, granular fertilizer every 2 weeks. Daily, if you don't have a drip system, you want to be watering, unless you cheat like I do and have wood chips. Wood chips retains the moisture inside your beds or your garden, and it helps make it stay moist. So today we're going to be pruning a little bit, harvesting a little bit, and that's it. I just wanted to go over with you guys. Don't be scared of fertilizing. Don't be scared when you walk into that garden store and there's 100 different brands and 100 different chemicals that they want you to buy. You don't want those chemicals. You want to stay organic. Organic is the way to go. You don't want that stuff that you buy in the grocery store that, you know, they take off the vine green and then it ripens in the grocery store. That's why it has no taste. Let your tomatoes ripen. As soon as they ripen, get out and harvest them, or else someone else is going to harvest them for you, meaning pests. So I want to do a little bit of pruning. I know that my tomato hornworm that I can't find pruned a little bit for me. Those things are crazy, man. Those little suckers, they will get your plant in less than 24 hours down to a stem. I'm telling you. So this is my hornworm damage. They like to prune for you. They're like, you know what, you're slacking on pruning, let me prune for you. And this is what they do. So when you see your tomato plant with no leaves in less than 24 hours, a tomato hornworm got it. It's okay. Don't sweat it. Just keep an eye on it. I've been looking for them. I can't find them. It's okay. Shit happens. All right, so there's things in the garden that prevent you from having good air circulation, and with bad air circulation comes diseases. So you want to stay on top of pruning. I know people are scared to prune, but don't be scared because especially indeterminate varieties get out of control and it can get a little out of hand. So you want to prune the suckers. The suckers are the stem that grows in between the quote-unquote armpit. Nice tomato. Put it in here. Right over here. And my trick is I let them ripen as much as I can on the vine, but I never pick more than my family can eat because then it just goes to waste. I like to give, treats to family and friends, but sometimes there's only so much family and friends that you could give treats to. So you never want to pick more than you could eat unless, you're giving it away to some of your buddies or some of your family. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be doing it this year, but next year I want to start a tomato series on test trying all different tomatoes. This year I kind of went crazy and I started planting a whole bunch of different varieties, which is cool, but it's just something that I wanted to do. Will I do it again next year? Maybe, probably not. I don't know. We'll see. But I think starting next year, I definitely want to start doing tomato spotlights, kind of like testing different tomatoes and whatnot. Here are some aromas that we need to pick. I know I don't talk to you guys much about my aquaponics, but I do have an aquaponics that I started last year. I'm still learning how to deal with it and the different problems that start within the hydroponics or aquaponics system, but it's definitely working. Got some little cherry tomatoes. My system was having trouble draining, so it did have some problems with root rot. I did get a hold of it in time, so it is recovering. But no matter what, I like to do experiments, and one thing I could tell you is tomato plants are extremely resistant. Now this year I wanted to go crazy and wanted to make my own tomato bush, and I definitely accomplished that goal. However, on the backside the sun is having trouble getting to it, but I still have some tomatoes that I could pick. Now here are some artisan purple bumblebees. I mean, I don't think they're so much purple, more than orange, but hey, we'll take it. Gorgeous. I'm not gonna lie to you, about 90% of my garden is tomatoes. I just love growing tomatoes. Let's go over here. I have some of my bigger tomato plants over here. Brandywine, Mr. Stripey, Better Boy. Some cukes that I like for my mint, lemon, and cucumber water. And some peppers, some more tomatoes. Sunflower. I still have some cauliflower that's doing awesome. Let's see what else. Some eggplant, peppers, mint, lavender, lemon sage, basil, lemon, what do we got? Lemon thyme, rosemary. We have some sweet potatoes over here. This is my wash tub that I did together with you guys. I love, my favorite fruit this year has been the ground cherries. Oh my goodness. I have a little knobbly over here that I'm head over heels. It's a little patio type tomato, and it is so cute and small and compact. I have some watermelon, some Japanese cucumbers, some striped eggplant, some marigolds, some coneflowers, some more of the bigger Better Boys and Brandywines. Over here I have some exotic watermelon. They're called lemon drop watermelon that are doing fabulous. I have some cantaloupe growing in that grow bed. Curly kale, peppers. I mean, I have it all. The biggest fail this year, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, has been the corn. Next year, I am not gonna experiment with it. I'm gonna go all in and do it the right way. This year, I experimented and it failed, but it's okay. Over here, I have some mushrooms that are colonizing. I have some green beans. I have a lot for my mini G garden, and it's something that I love to do, and I bring you guys along to try it. Don't be scared. It's only as hard as you make it. Just have fun, get a peace of mind. It's gonna be okay. If you have any questions, I'm here for you guys. I'm sure there's different avenues. There's different forums. There's different vlogs, blogs nowadays that you could search any answer any question that you have. Look at these black beauties over here. Oh yeah. And that's just the greatest gift of all, is planting them, nurturing them, and being able to see them fruit. And this is my pollinator patch. Alrighty guys, so I hope you guys got something from this video. If you have any questions or concerns, please just reach out to me, leave a comment, and just keep growing. Don't forget, don't be scared. High intensity gardening is okay. Just keep on growing, keep on doing what you're doing. Your failure will become successes, and keep growing.